Hello. Happy Friday. Hello, Terry. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Uh oh. Carisha, hello. Akil, I don't know you, but I heard a lot about you. Hi. Welcome to Characters Unmasked. Okay. I'm going to invite the Thank you, Carisha. That made me feel good tonight. Thank you. Oh, okay, we're waiting for our guest of honor. I think, she's here.
Hello.
How are you? My volume is all the way down. Oh my goodness, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Queen. How are you? Looking lovely.
You are as well. I like this purple. I've never seen you in purple.
My favorite color.
Really? I didn't know
It
that.
is. It is.
There's
I'm
so much I don't know.
all purple.
Oh, all right. Okay. I like this ponytail. All right, I like it. All right. It's moving. All right, I see you. Hey Brandy. Hey. Oh goodness, Malachi's here. Oh
Hi,
goodness.
Risha. Thank you.
Everybody likes purple. I think I'm late. I love blue.
Uh, my mama's a blue. I'm
Yeah,
purple.
hey mom. She know
Eh,
what's up. Yes. Oh man. Okay, you guys. Well, I wanted some more people to join. I see my dad is here. Hello, Dad. How are you? Hi, Daddy. Okay, try for some people to join, log on before we get started. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you so much. You guys are really nice on Friday with these compliments.
mm-mm.
Yes. All right now. I feel all special. Right?
As
Oh,
you should. As you
you
should.
know what? I don't want to waste any time, so we're going to go ahead and get started.
All right.
Okay, so for those of us who are on who don't necessarily know you, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about
Well, good evening, Instagram, and all of you character viewers. My name is Renee Henry. Just a little bit about me. I am a native Washingtonian. That's right, DC, Chocolate City.
it.
Uh,
All right now, okay.
I moved to New York City 2 years ago. I live up in Harlem now. And yeah, I'm just loving it, living in the city. I didn't think COVID was going to hit so soon, just in terms of me getting started in this industry. But just
Mm-hmm.
you live through it, and I don't know. I guess COVID for me has truly propelled me forward in the entertainment industry in terms of music, acting, all of the above. So, good evening, everyone.
All right, so for those of you who are on here who may not know, I met Renee, I think it was earlier this year, like maybe January or something, February,
Yep.
at acting class, Chic Studio. And I think we were doing 12 Years a Slave. I think that was those were the sides we were working on. I think that was the class. And I came in and I remember Renee being completely dressed, ready to ready to do her scene. I remember thinking to myself, wow, look at this commitment. She came with the cotton. She had everything. Like she was completely ready, like came ready, dedicated to like give her best. And I thought, wow, I appreciate and admire your commitment. And since then, you never wavered. You know what I mean? From that time I met you in person in class to our virtual classes every Monday and Thursday, by the way. Shameless plug. You always come committed and prepared and ready. You never know what you're going to get. And that's something that I told you I always admire about you. And I find it very inspiring. So for those who don't know, how did you get into acting? Like how did you always know you wanted to be an actress or?
Um, well, I'll say this. My mama said I should have been performing since I learned to walk. I've been
Ah,
a performer since I was very, very young,
mhm.
doing school plays in grade school. It was between music and acting, so it was more of like musical theater that I was involved in. But
Okay.
I got my start in film actually when I did move to New York in terms of my involvement in film, and me wanting to do more. My introduction started, I want to say, about 2000. I was just coming out of college, and my aunt, who was in, at that time, she was going to be in one of Tyler Perry's films, actually in his first film,
Okay.
Black. And she asked me to come out to Atlanta with her and
Nice.
just to assist her. I was more than happy to do that. At the time, I had never heard of Tyler Perry. I stayed up the night before watching all of his plays that he had done at that time.
Weren't they hilarious? Oh my goodness.
I didn't
I
even know
used to
who
love
Medea
those
was. I
plays. So
felt like I
funny.
was far behind on the times. Like, who is Medea? So I watched all of the Medea plays, and just I was amazed at his stage performance. So I went down to Atlanta with her and met Tyler in person. Was absolutely floored by just his stature. At this time, a lot of people were just only familiar with him as Medea. They didn't know him as Tyler Perry, the director, and it was absolutely amazing to be on set in that environment with him and watch how he works. At that time, he was co-directing with Ruben Camp, and I also got to meet Ruben, and just to watch the dynamic between two of them. These are Black directors. Tyler's brand new to this directing aspect, and I was totally amazed. We were in the church. I'm telling you, we literally got off the plane. They rushed us to the church so they could film this scene with her. And this is
Oh, that church scene was really nice. I love
yeah,
this song. First, Tamala Man, I love her
yes,
voice. It gives me chills every time she sings. That's like my favorite part of the movie. Like her voice is just so powerful. Oh my
it
God, I
is.
just love that scene. That whole
It
scene was really
is.
powerful.
I'm standing, and mind you, it is like Atlanta in the summertime is burning up. The church had no air conditioning.
Oh wow.
He wanted it as authentic as possible. We all there sweating. The makeup people had to come and powder people
Your
down
face
because we
is
were all
dripping
just
there. Wow.
drenched. And it was just like movie magic. Like I watched Tiffany Evans sing the song, and then Tamara behind her, the pastor was even singing. And then you turn around and you see Danny just coming down the aisle, just
Singing, yeah.
I mean, you talk about amazing. It was pure movie magic to me. And from then on, I said, I want to be in, I don't care what I'm doing. I want to be in a room like this, whatever I do for the rest of my life. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Who's
So,
that? Oh, Shakia.
yeah, one of my friends. So I said I had to do it. And then from then on, I made it my life's choice to just devote myself to wherever I was going. I had to have music and performing arts in my life. So when I graduated from college, surprisingly, I got into pastry. My mom, who's been she's been baking since I was born, like even before that. I applied to pastry school, came to New York, went to ICE, the Institute of Culinary Education, and at the same time, I started getting into speaking to my aunt more about film. And we just had some really good conversations about her experience in the industry from as early as summer all the way up until she just filmed with Tyler doing his most recent film. Goodness, I'm blanking on the name of it.
Fall from Grace or something
Thank
like
you.
that?
Yeah, Fall from
I
Grace.
think, okay, I didn't watch that one, but it's on my Netflix.
Yeah, and so it's intense. And just to speak to her about those things, and on a regular, I have conversations with her about it. I said, I got to be a part of this. I want to be a part of something bigger than myself. And so,
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen Nefertiti.
that's good, Matt.
So I wanted to ask you, because each time in class, one thing I noticed is like you never know what you're gonna get. You know, like you just have such incredible range. You're not afraid to take chances and try something different. So what inspires your creativity as an artist? Like when you read sides, it's like, do you just say, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go with this choice and see what happens, or like what exactly makes you want to just take the sides and just go someplace else with it?
I'll be honest. I don't always know what I'm gonna do until I just really dive into that actress's skin, like the character, whoever she is, I dive into her skin. I look at the scene as if it's playing out in front of my eyes, and I'm like, if it's in a diner, I'm saying, okay, what kind of a diner? I take it all, and then I say to myself, I don't want to play it like everybody else because I
Of
listen to
course,
the
yeah.
class a lot. You push me to to think outside the box here, and then I just take whatever I feel would fit
Hmm.
that scene. I don't like to take what's on the page and just use it. I've been told time and time again, don't let the
Take it off the
run you.
page. Yeah.
So in my head, I invent something that would just make so much sense to the scene, but I know no one else would do it. Whether
Hmm.
it's a crack addict and she looks run down, I'm like, okay, I know everybody else is gonna play it like she's slow, but I was like, how could I bring it to life so that she's
Hmm.
not just was slow? Maybe she's a high performance crack addict, you know? Like
Uh-huh.
I want to give her so much life that no one else is gonna bring to her. So my creativity, my inspiration for creativity
Hmm.
comes from having that childlike mindset. Like go as far as your imagination goes because there are no limitations on a child's imagination. And
Very
then
true.
pull it and use it for anything that you can use for that character. That's where I pull from a lot from my childhood. I was raised on Disney VHS tapes, and I love movies.
Yes, Disney. Shout out to Disney. Yes, I
So
love it.
I
I
pull
love
from
it.
yes. So my Disney VHS, like we got the VHS tapes at my mama's house.
Right? Okay. So
So that's
Asian
what I pull
ourselves right
from.
here. But
Right.
yes, shout out to the VHS,
You couldn't tell me nothing.
the VCRs.
I had the towel wrapped around my head and I was swinging my hair and I was princess
Uh-huh.
on the carpet and I'm flying and you couldn't tell me
Oh
nothing
my
at
goodness.
10, okay?
Yes, you took Aladdin and just said yes.
Hey, I
Magic
mean, you
carpet
got it.
ride.
You get
Oh my goodness.
that's a lot of where my inspiration comes from, just that childlike imagination and just using it.
That's very important. And always be creative, think outside the box. That's something that Sheik always talks about. Kids just, when you're kids, you just dive in, you just swim, you just play, you don't think
Yep.
about it. Like he always goes back to that. So that is very true. Because kids,
Yeah.
my son is always creative. He's like, Mommy, imagine if you're walking down the street and that was a spaceship, we could just fly into it. And I'm like, a spaceship?
I love
We
it.
could just go build a spaceship. But he's like, imagine if we could. I'm like, okay, you're right. Let
For
me
sure.
imagine if we could. You're right.
I mean, it really is important to just use that imagination, let it take you wherever
Hmm.
you want it to go. Don't try and control it. Just let it fly. Let it fly.
Now, I know you have a theater background. What do you find the most challenging making that switch from theater to television and film, if you even do find it challenging?
Lord have mercy. Let me
I'm
tell
gonna take that as a yes.
you. It's pulling it all in. Like going from being, because theater is big and sounds
Hmm.
so prominent. You have to reach the back of that audience, and you don't even know how far back that sound reached until you're actually on that
Hmm.
stage. You're projecting for me was seriously a challenge because in TV you got to pull it in.
Yeah,
I'm
pull
like
all in, yeah.
I'm look when I was in school and I was on stage, I had to make sure I was in the front. Like don't put Nene in the corner. Like I got right. And I like making noise. So that was a huge challenge. And I mean, even to this day, it's always something that in the back of my mind, I'm reminding myself, look, the camera lens is only this big. You
Hmm.
gotta pull it in so you
Gotta
can
find the
fit here.
lens, yeah. Hmm.
So that is a challenge. The other challenge for me is when I'm performing theater, I can freestyle, I can ad lib.
Hmm.
I can feed to the audience, and I know that if I'm connecting with them, if they're laughing at what I just said, or if they're like, "Ooh, surprise," I hear their reactions. I can
Yeah.
feed off of that. Film, it's a guess, it's a hit or miss, and you don't know until after they've already seen your work whether they can relate to it or connect with you or not. So
Hmm.
that's another factor that's always in the back of my head. It's like, should I do this? Should I do that? And eventually you just got to trust that all of your training, all of the things that all the things you work towards, that's going to get you to where you need to be in terms of the work. So just let it go and just hope for the best.
Yeah, trust yourself. That's very
Mm-hmm.
important. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. That was always my note. Project. Yeah, mine's too, Queen. Always like project. Kaji, you gotta speak. I'm like, I am speaking up. You can't hear me? I'm like, I am speaking up. Do we yell? Like, scream. Like, you can't hear my voice. Oh, I used to hate that one critique. I'm like, damn it, I am speaking loud. Like, what are you saying? Um, you had your choice, like what role would you love to play? For me, it's something action. Like I love action films. So if I'm like
Hmm.
jumping out of like a car with a gun or like something like action packed, I would love to do that. Or a period piece. I love period pieces as well. Either one of those, I'm like, you can't go wrong with it. How about
Okay,
you?
so I have to like say, wow, we're on the same brainwave here because I've always
Oh,
wanted.
really?
I always wanted to be a black superhero, first female black superhero.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. With the S on your chest, come out like she does
Always,
every show. I love it, right?
absolutely. I was like, dang, I wish I was on Black Panther. I would have shown up been. Yes.
Right?
Wakanda, yes. And the other role is definitely a period piece. I like Victorian pieces. I
Hmm.
love the Renaissance period, and I'm not talking Harlem Renaissance, although that's another era I love. The Renaissance period, where there's a lot of Victorian, more European style film.
Hmm.
I absolutely adore the Victorian Renaissance period. Yeah,
And I think you could do it too because you have that accent. You can like go back and forth. So I
that's
think
right.
that should be absolutely perfect.
And
Perfect.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I love it. What else? Okay, so there are so many directors out there, right? Who is one director that you would love to work with? Again, for me, I would say Peter Jackson.
Mm.
I think he's like so. I mean, there's so many brilliant directors. Like, don't get me wrong. Or Antoine Fuqua. Like, I love. They're both very different. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I admire both of their works. Very,
yeah.
very, very good storytelling.
Oh, okay. So I have a vision board at my parents' house that I have
Hmm.
of, like different actors and actresses I want to work with and their
Hmm.
styles. And then I on the side of it certain directors that I want. And the
Okay.
biggest one is Ava DuVernay. I absolutely
Ah, yes. Uh-huh.
love her work. I love,
Uh-huh.
absolutely love her work. My younger sister got to work on set with her at when my aunt was filming Cherish the Day. And she just spoke just so much about Ava and how beautiful of a soul she has, but her
Hmm.
work speaks for itself. It's like it speaks to who she is.
Hmm.
I love the fact that she tells a story just as it is. She doesn't oversell it. She doesn't give it too much. She tells it just as it is, and it makes it that much more relatable. It makes it
Hmm.
so strong. Like I watch Queen Sugar, like I'm addicted to that show.
I love Queen Sugar.
Just
Who's your favorite on Queen Sugar? Do you have a favorite?
I was initially Charlie, and then I cut it. I love Nola. She is my absolute.
I gotta go.
She
I
is
love Charlie.
she's my flame.
I love Charlie. She's so strong and
She
just like,
is.
you know
She
what I mean?
is.
She's like about
She
her
is.
business,
I
and
bounce
she's
between
always like,
them. I bounce
I
between
love
them
it.
because in the first season,
Nova's so free. I love it.
no, Nova is
But
like
she's so intelligent. You know what I
she
mean? She's all
is,
about her people and
and
helping her
that's
like her
why
culture. Hmm.
I feel like when they were cast for the show, Ava took her time to really break down how she
Hmm.
wanted. And every time right before they film, that's what they talk about it. I got a
Hmm.
few friends that are on set there. They talk about it in great detail. Like, where do you
Hmm.
see this episode going? It doesn't just start and stop with conversations. It's conversations throughout the filming. Ava, she takes the time to really narrow in on every single character and every scene.
Hmm.
Like, there are no details that are not important. Every detail is important.
Every detail,
The
yeah.
story itself, pieces of the story all come together.
Details,
And that, yeah,
specificity. Hmm.
that's why I love Nova. And I
Yeah.
love Charlie. I loved her initially, but Nova she's
She grew on you.
become my girl. Like
She grew on you. I get it.
I love her strength. I love her fight for her people. I love that.
They all have strength just in different ways,
Yeah.
like they're all strong. Even like Micah, like you see him
Yes.
growing up,
Yes.
I love what's her name? Bianca Lawson. I can't think of her name on the show, but I love how she's like a recovering addict, but you
Darla.
don't, yeah, thank you. You get
Mhm.
to see her. She's playing a recovering addict, but it's a little bit different than with the norm. You know what I mean? You get to
Yes.
see her like on that opposite side of it. You
Yes.
know what I mean? And you get to
Yes.
see her like getting herself together. She's becoming a mom again. She's finding love again. Like
Mm-hmm.
and you see that, and I just love the way she portrays that character. I think
Yeah.
it's very relatable. You know what I mean? And I just
Yeah.
feel like I know her, like I've been in her shoes. I haven't,
Like we have
but I
grown
feel
up with
like
this
I have.
chick. Yes, I mean, when we watched her, she goes from Save the Last Dance to the bad chick. She's always
Right?
been the bad girl in
Let
the
me kill
show.
this shit. You know what I mean?
Right. She's the bad chick, and now I see her
Uh-huh.
as there's a softer side to her, and it makes her look
It
like,
is very soft,
wow,
yeah.
relatable. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
I love it. Now, name your top five actors or actresses. They could be
Oh
dead or
Lord.
alive.
Okay.
Your top five.
Ooh. All right. Well, I have to say my aunt. She's Cicely Tyson. Absolute absolutely love her. I love her work. I love her style. I love the fact that she's family. Like that makes it
Mm-hmm.
that much more special. But um, as a as an actress, I think she was pretty much my introduction to the industry. I love everything
Mm-hmm.
she's done, including the autobiography of Jane Pittman. Like can't get any stronger than
Mm-hmm.
that. My aunt, number one.
Aw.
I'll go with another strong woman. Like I watched a lot of 80s, 90s movies, stuff like that. So Angela Bassett, the
Love
Jackson 5
her. Mm-hmm.
Dream, loved her.
Jackson 5. I was telling my son about that movie the
Yo,
other day. I was trying to get him to watch it. I love that movie. Stop playing.
I mean, she embodied Katie. Like I'm like, wow, she had
She was
conversation
the
with
lip,
her. Yeah,
everything. The soft
yeah,
spoken, it's like everything was like, it wasn't even Angela anymore. You know what I mean?
yes,
The
yes.
commitment. Like, I was like,
I
wow,
forgot
this
I
is
was
really dope.
watching Ange. I forgot I was watching Angela.
Uh-huh.
Like, wow, you are Katie. It's crazy.
Right?
Um, Somebody else. All right. Charlize Theron. She's always been a favorite. I've loved her.
We're like here. Seriously. Charlize Theron is like one of my favorites. I love her. She has
She's
incredible
smart.
range. Like there's nothing that
Yes,
she can't do. She can be a
that's why I love
dad.
her.
She can be a
Yep,
lawyer. She could be a
yep,
wife. She, remote romance, action. Like there's nothing that she cannot do. I freaking
absolutely.
love her, and she's fucking gorgeous. Okay.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
absolutely adore Charlize. I love her style. I love that
It is
fact that
not 10 hours, Will. The movie's not 10 hours. It is a long movie, but it's not 10 hours.
don't hate Will. Let's see. Morgan Freeman. He's always been. I love
Absolutely.
narrations, and I love watching and listening to him. Anybody could just fall asleep to the sound of his voice, but I'm always like this.
Mhm.
Okay. Ooh.
That's how you feel about Morgan?
Yes.
It's like, that's your
Like,
feelings?
I wish all nature shows just had his voice. I'd be like, wow. I just love it. His voice is soothing, and the way that he performs, it's always just with ease. It's effortless. Just
Effortless, yes.
one
So
of
easy,
my
yeah.
favorites of him is Shawshank Redemption.
Hmm.
It's just a beautiful piece, and him with Tom, it's absolutely flawless of a film.
He's very easy to watch. Like, you don't feel like
Yeah,
he's trying to act
no,
or he's trying to
no.
perform. It's just like,
It's like watching
this
my
is it.
grandpa, and he's just hilarious. I
Right?
see on funny movies and then sad movies, he's just like, wow, you're like my grandpa, and you just make me laugh, and then you make me
Hmm.
cry, and you make me want to just draw into Morgan. And how many was that? That was four. Oh, last. I gotta say Johnny Depp. I've always been a fan. Yeah,
What?
I love him.
We're like kindred spirits or something. Seriously, he is another one who just transforms. Like
Yes,
you don't even recognize him from role to role. It doesn't matter what role he's playing. You're like, wait, is that Johnny Depp? Is that
yes,
Johnny?
yes.
You're like, is
Like
that him?
people actually ask me like, why would you want? I was like, because he is amazing. He can put on any costume,
He
and
can
I
put
don't care.
anything on.
He's amazing. Like the Barber of
It doesn't matter
Seville.
what it
I'm
is.
sitting there like, he's singing in this film. He
It
plays
doesn't matter what
Captain
it
Jack.
is. There's nothing that he
That
can't do.
Edward Scissorhand, like he can go from a gentle spirit to
Hmm.
a raging lunatic, and it's absolutely
Right? And you're like, it doesn't matter
yes,
what it is.
yes. I'm always drawn to his films, so I loved him from his early films. What's Eating Gilbert Grape to Edward
Hmm.
Scissorhands to when he played Whitey in I can't recall the film, but he was the Boston uh,
Sweeney Todd,
yeah, he was in the Barber of Seville
Sweeney Todd.
and all of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Yeah, I absolutely love his work. I think he's
Hmm.
fantastic. I know I probably didn't name a lot of black actors, but
I don't have a whole lot either
I
on my
expanded.
list, you know. So
I
it's,
got a whole
you
list.
know, I think people expect like when you're black that you have to like name all the black actors and
Nah.
actresses, and there's no. I mean, of course, you know, I have people that I love that are obviously black, you know,
Mhm.
but they're just. I don't know what it is. I feel like there, first, I don't know if there's what the difference is, but I feel like white actors, and this is no shade, I feel like they're just transformed. I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of them, like, they're not afraid to go there. Like, they'll play any role. It doesn't matter if it's controversial. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter how they look. Like, they'll play gay. They'll play trans. They'll play whatever it is, and
right.
they'll make it so believable. And they're just committed to the work, and it's just
Hmm.
so awesome to watch. And I feel like a lot of times on our end, people like we're like more limited. And I'm not sure if it's because we don't get a chance to portray those roles because they don't want to see us in that light, or if we're like, no, I can't do that, I don't want to look like that, I don't want to play that kind of thing, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But it's just so different.
yeah. I, I
Um,
I like being able to look at films and watch different actors regardless of their how much melanin they have. Like, I can reach
mhm,
across and look at be completely colorblind when it comes to performance. I'm looking at
mhm,
what you bring to, like, give me something to feel good. Give me something to
mhm,
feel something.
yeah.
Regardless of what you feel is, let me feel something. And I've always felt something with that core group. Yeah. You can't tell me I can't feel nothing just sitting there listening to Morgan Freeman. It's like, I'm going to feel something. I'm just so, so
Forrest
yeah.
Whitaker is also brilliant. I love Forrest
Forrest
Whitaker.
Whitaker, I mean, even his brother, like, yes, absolutely. The two
Who
of
was
them.
his brother? Hold up.
Well, they're not twins, but he does have a brother. And actually, a lot of people don't know this. When he was filming The Butler, his brother was a stand-in for him at times. But his brother, I'm blanking on his name. He has a brother, and they look just like. They look exactly like.
Oh, I
Mm,
never knew that.
yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
sometimes, if you're watching films and you see Forrest has his eye is a little bit like lower or something, kind of.
Hmm.
His brother doesn't have that, and that's how you can pretty much tell the difference between them. They look like identical twins though, but
Ah,
they're like a year or so apart.
that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Forrest is definitely a great, great actor. Love him.
Now, a little bit, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
Um, we have so many talented women across the board, right? It's
Yep.
African American women, Caucasian women across the board. But
For
yet,
sure.
this is still, I feel, a male dominated industry.
Okay.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Men are scared. Men are scared of the success of women. Men are scared that they are going to lose power. I always think back to what I learned in school, and most people don't know this, but we had a female close to a female president. She was running for president, Shirley Chisholm. Love her. She's like a true inspiration to me in terms of politics
Okay.
and a rise in power. If you look at the position of the most powerful position in this country, the presidency,
Hmm.
think about how in all the years that we've had a president in this country, from George Washington to whoever is the next,
Hmm.
um, I look at Shirley Chisholm's battle in '72 when she.
Will said what?
Bro, I love history. Don't get me on history. Don't get me started on history. But I'm an advocate for justice, and I will always speak to the fact that Shirley Chisholm, a true advocate and pioneer for women in this country in terms of politics and political power, she ran for the Democratic Party in '72,
I
and
didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, and she was the first female to run for the seat of presidency. She was laughed out of the Democratic convention.
Oh
And what
wow.
got me was the reason that people didn't see her as a candidate was because she was a woman. It wasn't even because she was black. It was because she was a woman. She said she got more flack and more um, what's the word, discrimination for
Hmm.
being female running for that seat, not being a black woman, but being a woman. She got issues from white and brown
Hmm.
people, especially
Hey,
brown men,
Aria. Hmm.
especially from brown men. And her reason for it, she's when somebody asked her, why do you think it is? Why do you think that you weren't considered as a candidate worth pushing through in the Democratic Party? She said it's because men are men, and men are afraid of losing power. They're afraid that we're going to take it from them.
Hmm.
And what she followed with always stays with me. She says the black man, as he rises, has to step forward, yes, but that doesn't mean that the Black woman has to step backwards. We rise, you rise. Like I look at it that way. And so as a thank you, Will, as we progress, we have to remember that yes, there are things that divide us because of what we have, what we wear on the outside. So our skin color, our gender, whatever it is, even our sexual preference, whatever that may be. But at the root of the matter, women are just as important to this, our thriving, our growth as men. And what I was raised like, I was raised by both parents. What my dad never, made me feel like women didn't matter. If he was in a household with 4 women, he had no way of telling us we didn't matter. My father always treated us, and still does, always treats us with respect. He doesn't call us girls, he calls us ladies. And he always made us feel, and still always makes me feel, like there's nothing a man can do that I can't do. When my father would lift the piano in the house and we had to get it from level to level, I did it too. I would help with the washing machine. I would lift things just like he would. I don't feel like anything you can do, I can't do. I just do it better because I'm a woman. And that, to answer your question, is why this is a male-dominated industry. It's because men are afraid. So.
Oh man, I don't see the men chiming in. What's going on? I'm looking in the comments. I'm like, where the men at? All right. Okay, so we gonna leave that one alone.
You know what? That kind of speaks to it. That's a testament to it. So if they are afraid, I understand why you're so silent, because you might be scared. Don't be scared.
Okay. So we are gonna switch gears a little bit because Renee is also a singer. For those of you who do not know, she has a beautiful voice. And you're gonna actually sing a song for us. So what's the name of the song that you're about to sing?
Well, this is actually the first single that I've ever written. I wrote it about, at this point, it's about 6 years ago. It's called Your Eyes.
Okay.
I can go into more detail about this song after I finish it, but this song it's my absolute first. It has not been released on any platforms yet because I'm still working on a couple of other songs, but this one is my baby. It's my absolute.
Your firstborn.
It is, and you always treat your first one a little different.
A little more special. Yeah, I get it.
I'm so nervous about letting it fly because this one is it's the first, so it's like, do I release it? Do I not? My producer is actually pushing me to release it, so we'll get to it.
We got that exclusive. Yes, Malachi said exclusive. Yes, with the character.
All right, so I'm gonna play this one. Let me get the music up here. Give me 1 second. Make sure it works. Okay. Oops.
She used to kill it. Try it on Sunday nights. Okay.
All right, I think we got it here. Just want to make sure my speaker is up and running. You all can't hear that, right? Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. Let me try one more thing here. Okay. Can you all hear that?
Thank you, Strickland.
All right. Just let me know if you can hear this. Make sure the music works.
Yeah, I hear the music. I can hear it.
All right. All right, so again, this song is called Your Eyes, and hope you all like it. All the times that you left me alone, my dreams seem less filled, just that the good outweigh the bad, and let the pain fade away. When you didn't go, I cried inside, 'cause I knew you pushed our love aside. Whatever happens on that road ahead, all I know is that I miss you and the words you said. Time stands still when you laugh and smile. I changed the hands of time to have you stay for a while. It doesn't matter how bad we fight. I know it's good when I look in your eyes. I know it's good when I look in your eyes. Every day I wake, I'm hoping that I'll hear from you. You were my friend, my love. You knew me through and through. I'm sifting for memories for what went wrong. I'm drawing blanks, so what I'm left with is written in this song. Time stands still when you laugh and smile. I change the hands of time to have you stay for a while. It doesn't matter how bad we fight. I know it's good when I look in your eyes. I know it's good when I look in your eyes. Take back the words you said, it burned a hole in my chest, and you know it. I know others may come and go, but you have to know that they're all second best, because time stands still when you laugh and smile. Change the hands of time to have you stay for a while. It doesn't matter how bad we fight. I know it's love when I look in your eyes. I know it's love when I look. Time stands still when you laugh and smile. I change the hands of time to have you stay for a while. It doesn't matter how bad we fight. I know it's love when I look in your eyes. Knew it was love. I love in your eyes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Kind of wave, on the curb. I don't want to distract you. So I'm like, should I do it? Should I not? I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? Oh, but the comments were going crazy up here.
I appreciate it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Right? I love it. I'm like, you were like looking in my eyes. You were like singing to me. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you. Feels so special. Now, that sounds very personal. Does that come from, my dad is like, hey, my dad used to sing, so he loves that. Where does that come from? That inspiration come from?
So all of my music is from the heart. I always write from my experiences, whether it's me writing a play or me writing a song. Everything I do comes from some experience that I've had. And I've had, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe I'm not even 18. Like, yeah. I've
All
lived.
right, look.
So,
You got somebody. Queen is requesting you to release that so she can play it at her wedding. Stop playing, right?
look, I'm
You better
working
go
on
and
it.
release that song, girl. Stop
My
playing.
producer has kicked it into high gear. I'm actually working on all new music at this point, and I think he might even be watching. So, Kyle, I love you. I'm working on it. Just
Hey,
hang with
Kyle.
me. So, yes, all of my music is straight from the heart. It's all from experiences that I've had. That specific song was about something I endured that was extremely if you got the feeling of sad, that's where it came from. I was severely affected by someone who, I mean, it's all about love. Like I'm thinking I'm in love, and yeah, it turns out he wasn't.
Right?
So yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow. But
Yes, it is.
how do you come out of
It
that?
is.
Well, I chose to write about it, and I ended up putting it to music, and I wrote that. I wrote the music to it, and my producer
Oh,
was
nice.
absolutely amazing. Yeah, yeah. I actually I play a little basic piano, and I was able to pluck out a couple of chords that I loved with that piece, and I sent it over to him. He gave it a full score, and yeah, it to me it was an absolute yes. I have to do this song completely. That is only the second time I've ever performed it in front of an audience. As I said, this one's my baby, and I keep it close to the heart because
It's a beautiful song,
I'm
honestly
nervous
speaking.
about always, releasing that because
I'm
when
like, you gonna do a video? Because I direct over here.
you
So I'm like,
know what, that
we
sounds
put
like
in
a
our
collab. It sounds like a collab in the making. Um, it's just when you have something that is that personal.
Hmm.
It's a leap of faith to release it to the world and say,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna trust that the life that I gave to it, it's enough. And
Hmm.
I don't know, I've gotten so much positive feedback about that song after the first time
It's
I performed
beautiful,
it.
yeah.
I said, well, maybe I need to take it to the next level. And yeah, we're working on getting this mixed and mastered, and we're gonna put it out there. It's gonna be on oh Lord, it's gonna be on streaming platforms.
It is. It is.
Can't
It's
give a release
beautiful.
date yet, but it
I
will
can't
be.
see it not being received well. It definitely feels very personal. It's
Yeah,
something that's relatable. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
there's no reason why. You sound beautiful singing it. There's no
Thank
reason
you.
why it
Thank
definitely wouldn't climb those charts,
Yeah,
honey.
thank you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the first, and it surely won't be the last. That one is just my baby. So I'm giving it wings. A good friend of mine was like, "You need to sing that song." When that friend first heard it, they were just like, "Wow, you got to sing it." And that person gave me the confidence to just push it through. I didn't know if it was gonna sound right, even with the background vocals. It's all me. Um, and yeah, I just went ahead and said, you know what, just go for it, see what happens. And it's been a positive feedback on it thus far. So
Hmm.
why not just go for it?
Exactly. You gotta just go for it.
Yeah.
Like you can't hold yourself back.
Yep.
Now, who is your all-time favorite singer? Just one.
That's easy. Whitney. I grew up on Whitney.
Really?
I grew up on 80s Whitney. And like a lot of people,
Uh,
when she was on the album cover with the jeans on and the
uh-huh.
white tank. I am an 80s, 90s Whitney fan forever. Like no one could ever tell me anything bad about her in that time frame because her voice was pure
Oh,
and it
yeah.
was raw. Everything about it. Like I have her album,
Effortless.
and I ain't talking CD. I said album.
Uh-huh.
I'm a vinyl. You can see my vinyl collection. I'm a vinyl
Oh
pure
my goodness.
to heart because there's something about the purity of that sound, and I commit that to the sounds that I like to hear in singers and musicians. Whitney has
Hmm.
always been at my heart. She's always been the absolute singer I will always go to. She's a go-to for karaoke songs. She's a go-to for covers. Love Whitney.
Uh-huh.
Always.
Now, who would you love to share the stage with if you could, sing with one person, have a collab? Who would that
Yo.
person be?
That's a little harder of a response because I mean I can dance, but I'm more like a Mary J on the bop part.
With the boots, if she got the high boots on, if she be getting it in, like, right? Love Mary.
But I
Love
would
it.
say performance wise, I want to perform with Tina Turner. Absolutely. All the way.
Oh, okay, so you old school with it.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. I want spiked heels.
Hi, Sheik. How are you? Sheik,
Hi.
hello. Hi. Hello, Mr. Bay. Welcome.
Hello. Yeah, Tina, I love the fact that she,
Hey,
even
Corey.
in her heyday, she is a performer. Like people love Beyonce, great, okay, she is a performer, but Tina,
She's one hell of a performer.
she is a, oh goodness, classic performer. I absolutely love her.
It is classic. You like the classics. I was gonna ask you, what is your favorite era of music? You know?
Uh, that's hard. That's a little harder because I like the 80s, but
Uh-huh.
I'm a 20s Harlem Renaissance Bessie Smith and the old school with Duke
Oh, you
Ellington.
are
That
old,
kind,
old, like
oh
way, way
yes,
back.
yes.
Like way back.
John Cole. You talk John Coltrane. That's the era I pull from. I love. So one thing you got to know about in terms of family, you know, my aunt Cicely was married to Miles Davis. I have a huge appreciation
Oh.
for Miles, for jazz, and reaching back to that kind of music, it feeds your soul. Like when music
Mm-hmm.
actually feeds you make people feel something
Mm-hmm.
through that. You can't
I
touch
think
that.
that's what's definitely missing from today. You
Yeah,
know,
that
like you don't
that's
necessarily,
why
you don't
I
really
will
feel
forever.
like you
Yeah,
did.
I will
Yeah.
forever be pure. I love the pure sound, and I commit my ear to a sound that's pure. So Nina Simone and you know those women and men who it wasn't necessarily about the singing of the song. It was, how do you make me feel? Gladys Knight,
Uh-huh.
make me feel something. Make me
Uh-huh.
feel something. That was something famous that Gladys always said. A song got to make you feel something.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all these runs and riffs and things, but if your song don't make you feel nothing, you got nothing. So I love Kim Burrell, and I even sang on a stage with Kim Burrell when I was at the Kennedy Center performing years ago. I love her. She does a lot of riffs and runs, but at the heart of the matter, if the song doesn't make you feel something, I'm not gonna be into it. And I don't understand artists that
Feels.
no shade,
Got the comments.
no shade to the artists of today, but when you think about, and people love a show, so Beyonce will make you feel something because she can give theatrics, and yeah, she does have a nice voice, but I'm a fan of people who make me feel something. Stevie, his voice is going, but his music always makes me feel something. I
Mm-hmm.
always feel when I listen to him. um I could mention artists of today, whereas I don't know if you listen to her is her song, her
I like
music.
her. I don't know all of her music, but I like some of her music. Mm-hmm.
She uses acoustic guitar in all of her pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's acoustic. It's a natural sound. I love that. Billie Eilish,
You
natural.
like Billie Eilish?
I love Billie. I do. Newer sound, but she commits to the rawness,
Mm-hmm.
the passions in her rawness, and I like that about her. So yeah, I like people who are not necessarily they're outside of the box. Prince, love Prince. Gotta love
I
Prince
like. I like
because
the
of
fact that he's very brilliant. He's very brilliant.
of course, of
Self-taught.
course.
I love it. Janae, I like Janae as well.
Oh
I think
yeah,
Janae is dope too.
yes, absolutely. When I
Her
meet,
voice is
yo,
like so soft, you know what I mean? But it makes you feel something. Like
I
you
have
feel
to
like
agree.
like you feel like you go on a journey with her, listen to her music. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
You feel it. Somebody said,
Anita
I love Janae, I love it.
Baker. Anita Baker. You got. I said Gladys Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I look. I was raised on Motown, old school. Like our trips back and forth to New York, up and down that road, we listened to Motown tapes. My parents popped in cassette
Mm-hmm.
tapes. We listened to Motown to and from. I know every song by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are classics that you don't hear today, but
My
or
mom
you
loves
hear
Marvin Gaye.
them. But
Uh-huh.
yo, like I absolutely loved Marvin and Tammy singing together. That you don't see too many duos like that. The last one
No,
I
you
recognized
don't.
duo was what is his name? Oh my goodness, I see his face. It's Tamia and her husband. Anyway, but
Brand Hill?
no. I'm sorry, not Tamia. Kenny Lattimore and his wife. That's one thing. Kenny Lattimore did a duet with his wife. That was the last one I saw on. It
Was it
was
Shantae? Was it with
maybe it was.
Shantae?
It may
Okay.
have been. But duos like that you don't see too much anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
would go. I performed open mics at the Sugar Bar. I did a performance at the Sugar Bar last year, and the Sugar Bar is owned by Valerie Simpson. And if you are familiar with Valerie Simpson and and the establishment itself, Valerie Simpson
Mm-hmm.
is an amazing performer. If you know Ashford and Simpson,
Mm-hmm.
Valerie.
I know a little son, my mom, my dad, you know.
Yeah,
Those
I
recent
mean, but
how much
that's the
younger they were
performing
singing those
duo,
songs.
and
Yeah.
that's the era that I grew up on. Just listening to that music, I have a huge appreciation for what's considered old school music. But to me,
Hmm.
it's like, look, I grew up on it. I don't think it's old school. It's like totally alive in my heart. I hear it
Hmm.
ain't nothing like the real thing, baby, on the radio, and I'm like, yep, remember that song?
Now, you love acting and singing. So if you could only do one for the
Mm,
rest of your life, which one would you choose?
oh, that's hard. Um,
So my mom's in the background like, yes, I used to love Ashford and Simpson. I don't know if you heard her. She's like,
hey.
yes.
That's a really good question. I would say, I mean, I would even flip it to make it even a harder question for me. Like, which one can I live without? Um,
Okay.
I can't live without music. Music is in me. It
Hmm.
is who I am. It was my first love. It has always been my first love. And yeah, I couldn't live without music. But in that respect, even when I'm performing on a stage singing, I'm still performing. It's an act, so I can kind of
Hmm.
do that. So I don't see either one. They go hand in hand for me. That's a harder question.
Okay. I know it's supposed to be hard. I know you love them both. So I was like, this is a good question to ask
Yeah.
her. Yes. Okay. Now, I don't know if a lot of people like pay attention to producers, but I do. Like I'm like, who produced that? Who wrote that?
Hmm.
So who was the? I know you work with Kyle, but if given the chance to work with somebody else, in the industry, who would you love to work with? Like who would you love like to lay down some score, some music for one of your tracks?
Mm, that's a good question as well. Um, One of the a friend, I actually have a few friends who are producers, so I've seen their work. But if you're talking mainstream industry, I'd rather give a name that most people would know.
Hmm.
Uh, I would absolutely want to work with Stevie Wonder. Absolutely, like
Okay.
I've been told, does magic in the studio. He knows what he's going in there to do, and
Hmm.
anything that he puts out, at least like people who know Hotter Than July. If you know that album, you
Hmm.
know what was going on at that time. There was unrest in the city. There was so much going on. This brother went into the studio and didn't come out till the album was done. And I'm talking protests in and around where he
Hmm.
was. That's the kind of commitment that you put into your work speaks volumes about the kind of person you are. And I think Stevie, who has always been committed to music, like music is within him. Same thing with, Michael Jackson. It's a commitment to
Love
the craft.
Michael.
Yeah.
Love
Like
Michael.
you walk into, they go into the studio and they come out like with these crazy, crazy, amazing beats, these crazy tracks that they make you feel something.
I love his
So
creativity. So creative. I don't think
yeah,
there's anyone
Stevie,
who is so creative. Yeah,
for
has
sure.
been.
So
Yeah.
I think for sure Stevie's one. Quincy Jones is another. Um,
Mm.
Quincy, just for his want to have so much versatility. He always goes for the unusual. He always goes for what what he knows would sell and what would sell big. Barry Gordy is another as well. Like I don't
I
know.
was gonna say Barry White for a second. I was like,
No,
wait.
Barry
I
Gordy.
was like,
I have a thing for Motown, and I've always had a huge appreciation. Shout out to Detroit, but I got a huge appreciation for Motown because that's
uh-huh.
what I grew up on. So yeah, Stevie, Barry, and definitely who was I saying? Stevie, Barry, and Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones.
Hmm.
Now our time is going down. I know you have another song to sing.
I do.
So tell us about this song that you're about
Well,
to sing.
this one's a cover. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure those of you that are familiar with this artist, you would definitely know her music.
Uh-oh.
What
I'm like, who is it?
my
Who is
producer
it?
and I my
Who
producer
is it?
and I put together a little something different. This has never been done by any other artist in terms of taking her song and flipping it a little bit. So I just took the
Okay.
song by Anita Baker called
Okay.
Sweet Love, and I have made it into something that's a little bit less jazzy and a little bit more like Nene. So hope y'all like this
Okay. More like Nene. Okay, go ahead.
one. All right. So let's see. Okay. Make sure you all can hear this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With all my heart, I love you, baby. Stay with me, and you will see my arms will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause I believe I'm meant love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. I'm in love, sweet love. Don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way. Your heart is calling me closer to you. I will be all that you need. Just trust in what we're feeling. I believe, 'cause I believe I'm in love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. I'm in love, sweet love. Don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way. There's no stronger love in this world. Oh, baby, no, you're my man. I'm your girl. I'll never go. Wait and see. Can't be wrong. Don't you know this is where you belong? Oh, how sweet this dream. How lovely, baby. Stay right here. Never fear, I will be all that you need. Never leave, 'cause baby, I believe in this love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. I'm in love, sweet love. Don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way. Oh, no, 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 no. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey,
So
right
that's
now,
it.
yes. Finger snaps all
Yes.
across, clap, clap, clap. My mom's in the other room singing it with you.
Hey,
Like, Mom, you singing? Like, I can hear it.
thanks,
Yeah,
Mom.
her entire life, having a good old time up in there.
Oh,
Man, okay, we have about like a minute and a half left before, Instagram throws us off again.
yes.
So, when are you going to release some music? So, Spotify, Apple, like, how can we download it? When's the album coming? And mix? I mean, something. What's happening?
All right. Well, in order to find all of that out, just make sure you all follow me on Instagram. I'm at ReneeHenry_official. I will start releasing music in the upcoming year. Yes, it's ReneeHenry_official. You can always check out what's new and upcoming. I do like to release covers every now and then, just stuff I'm playing around with them in my my studio. I put that on my website, ReneeHenryofficial.com. You can always see.
She got a website show us official.
Oh yeah, for sure. You gotta see all of the old work and the new work. But yeah, music is coming. New music is coming 2021. My producer and I, Kyle, love you, KE Productions. We are in the studio working hard, and we hope to have something out next year. I can't say what month. That's forthcoming.
Right.
But 2021 will definitely be the year that I release. At the very least, the single that will be coming out.
Okay. All right, you guys. We got about 30 seconds. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for
Yes, I really enjoyed it. My mom clearly enjoyed it. I see her like enjoying it. So this was actually pretty dope. We haven't had Unmasked like this before, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing your
you.
beautiful gift with us.
Thank
And
you.
thank you everyone who tuned in, who watched. We hope to see you soon. Characters Unmasked. We're gonna take a bit of a break, and then we're gonna come back in a few weeks with some brand new guests for you. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Uh-oh, hold up. Are we still on? Uh-oh. They didn't kick us out. I don't know what happened.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh, great time. So what? Is it like he's like start dancing now or something? Like the
I
party's
don't
not
know. What y'all
over?
want? I can do a little Madonna, you know.
Oh, you like Madonna? Stop playing.
No, like a bird. You know what? You know what?
She's very creative. I don't think her
Mm-hmm.
voice is the best. No shade.
My mom and I
But
always say that to me. I always love the unusual. I'm a Gaga fan. I'm a poor George, a
mm.
Boy George fan who I used to call Poor Georgie because I was little and I didn't even know what that meant. Um, but yes, I've always loved. Oh, thank you. I see all of your posts. I can't see it on this Instagram, but I have it on my phone. So
It's America said it's dance time for show. For sure.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, just to let you know, I've been singing since I was 3. So musicians from back in the '80s, yes, I love the odder the better. Yeah, I
She
absolutely
said the odder the
adore.
better.
Yes,
Who
I
cares? Who
absolutely
cares about normalcy? Let's make it odd
right.
and weird and
Who wants
crazy.
to be normal? Who wants to be normal? That's underrated. Normal is just so overrated. I
It's
definitely
so boring. Who cares
yeah,
to be
yes.
normal? Who wants to fit in?
I love the unusual, and that to me it speaks to how creative you want to be, which it always makes it that much easier for me to be creative in my performances. So I borrow from the unusual to make it something to make that thing work for me. So it comes out in my performances in terms of stage performances when I'm singing, and then in front of that camera. I'm learning how to reel it in though. So don't be mad at me. I'm trying to pull it back a little bit. But I'm grateful for the instructors that I do have that actually make that possible. So hey, if y'all are looking for a really, really, really dope teacher, Sheik Mohammed Bey, sign up for his classes. He's awesome. He teaches a lot of on camera and acting technique, and also scene study. So take them classes. They're so dope.
Yes.
So
I don't even know if Sheik is still here. I don't see him on here. Maybe he dipped out, but he was here.
Well, I gave you a plug.
All right, shameless plug. Yes, right now he's working on Smoking Good.
Hey,
that should be coming. I think 2021. That should be coming pretty soon. They're still working on it. Well, again, thank you for being here tonight.
I'm
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Honored.
Did you hear that vocal?
Yes, I hear you.
A little bit. Yes.
Yes. I love it. Music is everywhere. We all got it in us. I appreciate it. I'm truly humbled by this experience, by this opportunity. I love everything about the characters. You all are awesome. We do great work together. And within the upcoming season, I know I'm going to see some great works coming out of the company. So
yes, Plan B. Yes, we hit it. We hit our mark. We went over our mark. Thank you to everyone who's on here.
Congratulations.
Yes. We did it.
Good.
All right. You guys have a great and wonderful weekend. It's some great weather out there, at least in New York it is. So hopefully wherever you are, the sun will be shining like it is here.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.